This looks good.
It looks good. I like it.
One of your soul guides, Patricia Wolfson.
Hi, I'm your other soul guide, Linda Krause-Barnett. Welcome to your Monday. How is everybody doing? Let us know if you're on. Yeah. The 4-pound heavier Monday. Welcome.
Is everybody still feeling stuffed?
Hopefully you're feeling soul stuffed because you watched our pilot.
Yay!
So hopefully we filled your heart, not just your belly.
That's right. And as you guys can see, I'm in a weird spot today because I have painters at the house. So we're actually in my healing room today. That's why it looks all mandala-y and
Lotus.
Yeah, it's got a
I
don't know, it's a moon or something. Anyway, yeah, so who watched Soul Seekers TV on
I
did. Me too. My whole family watched it. We all sat around the computer and watched it as it aired. We did the countdown. Did you see on Instagram? If you go on my Instagram, on my Insta story, I don't know if it's still there, but we filmed the countdown on YouTube.
Oh, that's too cute. I don't know. I didn't see that.
Yeah, well, you missed it.
I missed it.
And you see, Jacob is like, who? What was he? He was like, who's watching? I was like, us.
We are watching it.
It was like 4 viewers, like right at the beginning, and I was like, that's like 3 of my computers. It was like Alexander's phone, my phone, and my laptop, and I was like, and maybe Linda's watching right now too.
I was absolutely watching, and then I kind of just made everybody who I know. I did like a huge group message. It was like, eat your turkey, then watch my show. Eat your turkey, then watch my show. Eat your pumpkin pie, and then watch my show. Have you watched my show? I'm like, we're still eating turkey. I'm like, okay, finish your turkey. Watch my show. But we hope for those of you who don't know us as intimately as maybe others do, hopefully the introduction, and I know for my contacts, whatever, for my people, so many of the questions I received when we embarked on this journey was like, what is Soul Seekers? You know, like it was, at first there was people who thought it was like a ghost, you know, like we're ghost hunting.
Oh my God, that would have been awesome. Ghost hunters.
Yeah, because we're like Soul Seekers. They're like, are you like seeking? I'm like, no, it's not like a zombie show, you know, it's a spiritual personal development show. But it was like really our intention to help explain the energy behind it, the concept, you know, because it's something that requires showing more than you could easily tell. And I feel like we really captured that in the pilot. I feel like we did a good job of being authentically us and telling you who we are and giving you a good glimpse into what the show is about and what you can expect. So laughter, all kinds of shenanigans, some tears. And hopefully if you watched that, it resonated with you and you felt connected to us, because that's kind of the point, right?
And I wanted to just like talk about our individual videos in that first episode, like what we're calling our confession videos. People may not realize this, but we did not know what the other one was going to talk about. And we ended up talking about pretty much the same thing, which obviously is not much of a surprise because we're, you know, together and we were brought together and we kind of knew what our purpose was. But even the wording was so similar that afterwards I was like, we didn't even talk about it. And we basically were like, we're in it for the same reason.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what so many people will connect with us on, you know, it's that concept of like you trying to consistently reinvent yourself and grow and expand and be better versions of who you authentically are. And I think it's so easy to get off track sometimes, but that inner work is kind of what helps you recenter. But I know that at least for me, one of the things that turned me off from spiritual or personal development initially, even though I've always had that calling, but I kind of always pushed it away, is because it it felt so serious, and I felt like I don't meditate, so I can't possibly be spiritual, or, it just seemed so focused and so calm and so serious. None of the adjectives that
So
describe
structured.
me. Structured, organized, like really the opposite of everything I stand for.
It's like, you gotta be committed. I'm not that committed.
When you're chaotic and crazy and unorganized, and like, then what's your gig? But that's what's so cool, is that spirituality can come across however it comes across for you. It can be communicated, however, and what I've also found is there are a lot of people like me who find their greatest connection in all the madness. So it doesn't look the same for everybody. And once I opened up to that and I was comfortable and I stayed away from like, what are people going to think? Oh my gosh, they're going to be like, you're one of those woo-woo crazy people. And now I'm like, please call me that, because I know how fantastic it all is. And yeah, I believe in magic and my magic. And yeah, I believe in things that I may not have been taught as a child. And I believe in bigger concepts, and I believe in energy. And if that makes me woo-woo weird, then I own that 100%, because I think it makes my life so much richer than the lack of it in my life.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that that's the whole thing with soul seeking. It's not about fitting into a box, or it's not about belonging to the spiritual community as much as it's belonging to yourself. Like,
right.
It's about embracing who you are in the chaos, just like you said. And both of us, like, eternal rebels. And we don't like things that feel structured or feel too routine, yet here we are doing this, and we've been committed to the show, and we've been, so committed and structured in the sense of creating this show in a beautiful way that feels really aligned and really good, because this soul-seeking journey works for us, because we've carved out our journey in a way that feels good. And both of us, for anybody who's watching who feels like, I don't fit the mold of what I think spirituality or soul-seeking may be,
exactly.
that there is no mold. You make your own path. You seek however you want to seek. There's some people who literally need to hit the dregs of life and to have to hit rock bottom and have that dark night of the soul in order to find some light. And that's okay if that's you. And then other people, kind of find it in the little magical things that happen day to day. And all of that is okay. Like, you don't have to have some traumatic event in your life in order to find your light. And you also don't have to always live up here in the high vibrational place, because that's just not realistic. That's not life. Life shows you contrast, just like Abraham Hicks, if you listen, will always say, life gives you contrast so that you know what you want to move toward and what you want to move away from. That's where the challenges come in and say, oh, I don't like this. This makes me feel better. And that's how you find your way.
Exactly. And we're so, if we could get out of our own heads, and I speak specifically to myself when I say that, but I know a lot of us experience that. But if you could get out of your own head, like, what are people going to think? What if I'm not good at it? What if, then you laugh at yourself. People's judgment are going to be present whether or not you do, they're going to judge you no matter which decision you make. So why not make the decision that fuels your soul, and do what's right for you? Because either way, people are going to come at you with some sort of judgment, and that's not your problem. People's opinions of you are very rarely your problem. Obviously, if it's someone you're connected to and loving and living a life with, then it matters a little bit more. But again, it goes back to the video where, if the way I'm living my life, if the beliefs I have, if the things that I'm passionate about don't resonate with you, then don't
then
don't play in my playground, like go play with their other friends. But for the most part, I feel like people are open. I have gotten such great feedback of people who, not only people who are already in this environment, in this world, who are like, yes, you're my tribe, but also from people who are watching this and participating because they're my friends, but who don't necessarily have a paradigm for this sort of content.
Yeah.
And they have welcomed it joyously, and they have been really excited to see things through my eyes. And so to open up other people to their own channels has been super exciting for me, because that's how I got to this point, is people kind of opening me up to reflect the things about myself that I wasn't really giving credence to. And so that's what I us to help others do.
Yeah. And, as you were talking, it made me think of the analogy, like when people embrace, like, if you're in a relationship, whether it's a best friend or an intimate relationship or even a family member, let's say you have someone who's really, really into a particular type of music or really into a particular type of sport, right? And they're like, hey, come watch this game with me. Well, you may have no interest, but because you love them, you're going to accompany them and you're going to appreciate it, as you said, through their eyes. And that's for us, that's what this is like, this is a part of us, and the people who love us and who appreciate us, they may not understand it or even believe it, and that's okay. Yeah. But because they love us, they can go, okay, I see why you're so excited, because they've also seen the results in our life and the changes that we have made and the transformation we've made once we adopted, the idea of being connected to ourselves.
And there's no convincing here, like we're not trying to convince anybody to do anything. What we're doing is exposing and helping bring awareness to just how do I create the best version of myself? How do I seek adventure? And how do I create a life that on a daily basis is, more fun, more rich, more, I don't know, for me, at least, that's what all of this has done. It's taken the things that you normally push aside because you have responsibilities, and you think that the things that you love the most, like, who has time for that? I don't have time for that. But what's amazing is when you start to fulfill your responsibilities through your passions and through your desires, it reroutes you, and it reroutes you down a path of, kind of fulfilling your responsibilities in a more soulful way, where your soul is part of the journey. We can't put it aside for something like, I'll get to my soul when I have time for my soul. Like, you make time for your body, you make time for your mind. Your soul has to be a co-creator in your life if you want the best experience. That is my opinion.
Yeah, and it's going to look different for everybody. So if your soulful journey looks different from ours, that's awesome, because if you feel connected to it, then that means that's your journey. So, I just want to, or we just want to remind you as we wrap up that our next episode is coming out this Thursday at 11 o'clock on YouTube. And as you see the ticker tape go by, it is on youtube.com/soulseekercb.
December 5.
Oh, it's December 5th. Thank you for checking.
You're welcome.
And so you can just sign up, or I should say subscribe, and ding that little bell so that you'll get notified, because there will be another countdown for that episode. And that was kind of fun. I liked watching the countdown.
Yeah. So please, if you haven't already subscribe, and please share this with all your friends, all your family, anyone you think could benefit from this content, and get them to subscribe to our channel as well.
That's right, because now we're at like 112.
As of
right?
this morning, 112.
So our new goal is 150. Let's go. Have a great day, everybody.
Okay.
We'll see you soon.
Bye, Soul Seekers. Have a great day.